perform, we're not thinking about what just happened the night before or what happened last week. I remember last year, Chris Jones' aunt had died. He was very close to his aunt, and that was right before the Jacksonville game. And in the Jacksonville game, he basically made a blunder. I mean, he didn't hustle like he normally would hustle, and everybody just dived in. I mean, like, he's done, he's this, he's that, not taking into consideration that he was really just trying to be there for the team. And anybody who ever experienced losing any loved one, you know that there's a grieving process. Now, for men, it's a little different than women. Men sometimes they grieve differently, and men are more into keeping their life going. Women are just stop, grieve, and just let life go by. And I'm thinking about all that. I mean, but we just kind of push through it. And sometimes I'll give y'all an example of what I'm talking about. When I was 17, and as a young man, I lost my mom. And when I lost my mom, I didn't even realize I had changed. But one thing that I didn't do is I didn't grieve properly when that first happened. So what happened is that lasted for 8 years because I honestly didn't grieve my mom until I was about 25 years old. I mean, and that's what I'm saying, how men do stuff like that. And it affects their life, and they don't even realize it's affecting their life because they're just trying to push through it, push through it. Women are just stop and grieve. I mean, get through it, and then they'll start their life over again. We don't do that as men. And football players are no exception. When they have death in their families, when they found out their girlfriend was cheating on them with one of their best friends from years ago, and this, and that, and you don't realize that this affects them. You don't realize that that affects them the way they play. And we jump on them. What the hell is wrong with you? You see receivers. I remember last year, Kansas City had many opportunities to beat teams, and Rasheed Rice would miss the ball. I mean, he would drop it. And everybody was like, what the hell is your problem with that? We never seen Rasheed Rice drop balls before. I mean, like, this is what a common thing for him. This was an anomaly. And I was saying to myself, it's not your football. I know you can play football. I know you can catch. What the hell is going on? Now we found out later on he was feeling pressure by what he's going through right now. If somebody's going to sue him for, I guess you could say, domestic abuse and this, that, all that was going on in his head, and he's still trying to play football, and he's not performing like he normally performs. Off the field, football or any sport matters. I don't understand how we can sit there and judge football players by their play. We judge them by their play, and we act like that they're not freaking human beings. Like it's like, and guys, let's get the likes up, get the likes up, get the likes up, get the likes up. I want people to hear what these women have to say, but I'm just being totally honest with y'all. How many people really take in consideration when you're looking at an athlete, what's going on in their personal life? You don't look at that. DK Metcalf last year basically punched the fan.
Yeah.
He punched the fan in the face. And me, I came down on DK Metcalf hard. I was like, you got to control yourself better than that. You can't let people rage bait you to the point of punching them in the face. But guess what? That guy had been rage baiting and taunting and trolling this dude for a while. I mean, like, it just got to a point, and now you're in an intense game, and the game is already emotional. You're in an intense game, and you're like, damn, like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? But we're not taking in consideration the human being part of that. We said you should be a professional and you should be able to control yourself. Well, let me ask all you guys a question. If you're taking into context, you in my face all the time trolling me. I'm trying to keep my cool and tell you, leave me alone, go on about your business. Hey, man, just let me play football. And you constantly in my face all the time. I'm going to punch the shit out you. It's going to get to that point, even though I'm a professional. Because let me help you out. Professionals lose it too. And we got to take the high road every single time. As a professional, you got to take the high road every single time. And you know that's not making you feel good inside. And you're going to help to the NFL. You're going to help to the team. Say, hey man, get this fan off me, because I'm gonna punch the shit out of him. And then he punches him, and we all dive in on him. And damn it, DK, you know better than that. You got to think about the team. You got to think about this. But he was begging for help the whole time, and the NFL, another fan or another team was helping him. The fans still trolling him. Y'all think that doesn't matter? It does matter, and it affects your play. So these women are going to come on here today, and they're going to talk about off the field, what happens off the field, and how it affects their play, because it does affect their play. If you think it doesn't, you're insane. I mean, I don't understand how you don't see that the human factor of football matters. I mean, so when you see a player, for some strange reason, can't catch the ball, for some strange, I have to disagree on that one. Well, that's cool. That's cool, coach. That's cool. I mean, that's cool. But this is not even what I'm going to talk about. This is what the women going to talk about, and I want to hear what they have to say. Whether we agree or whether we disagree, we still want to hear it, because, Coach, you may not agree with me on what I said about DK, but you will agree that the human part of football, the human part of players, matters when they're playing football. I don't care what nobody say. Your life can shut you down if you don't watch it. And yes, you're supposed to be bigger than that. Sometimes you lose it. So look, without further ado, man, I'm gonna bring these ladies up here. For all you guys that's putting yourself in the queue, the women are gonna be in control of this show for the first 40 minutes. So I'm asking you guys to be important. Joes, get your ass in the queue.
Oh, I'm up here.
Why he yell at you and you was the first one up here?
I mean, I'm like, hey, Brianna, I thought I was looking for Joes, but it was Brianna. So I got Brianna here and Joes.
She's so dope in the.
She's so dope. Where's she at?
Yeah, you like dope.
Just joined.
Where you at, dope? Put yourself in the queue.
Yeah, come up, dope. Come up.
Good morning to y'all too, by the way, Joes and Brianna.
Good morning.
Good morning, Swag.
Good morning. I want you guys to do it. I want you, before we give y'all keep your conversation going. I know you guys have some things that you want to say about what I'm talking about. It was your show. I mean, so, but I want everybody to hear what y'all have to say, because I think it's important. I think it's very important. I think that we really, as fans, we really overlook that sometimes. I mean, so she's so dope, hadn't put herself in the queue yet. So Brianna, you first. Talk to me.
Yeah, so we could definitely start with Rashee Rice and all of his issues. After the Super Bowl in 2024, of course, everybody knows he was in that hit and run 6-car incident, which it's like, shouldn't you be focusing on being a champion? You just won a ring in his second year of being in the NFL?
Mm-hmm. That was actually, I think, his first year.
Yeah, his rookie year?
I thought it was the second.
Was it the second or the first?
I think second.
The first year he won the Super Bowl when the Chiefs beat the 49ers.
Okay, so that was his rookie year. Yeah, you're right. That was his rookie year.
Yeah, I'm wrong.
Rookie year. I try to keep in mind that these men are very young. They're in their early 20s. So I get that they make these different decisions in the off season, even during the season. However, did you not read that code of conduct? Because I just read it before the live.
I would love to hear it. What's up, Red? I would love to hear it.
I was reading over it, and I'm like, I don't think these young men are reading this, because they don't, once they're out of uniform, some of them are just doing whatever.
I believe that.
They're for the streets. They don't care that they have the privilege of being in the NFL at all. You brought up a good point about him dropping the balls.
Well, here's the thing, Brianna. This is what happens. There's a certain focus and concentration that goes on with playing football. Y'all know that. right?
Mm-hmm.
When a game starts, you see players getting all fired up and stuff like that. But the truth of the matter is they've already done the homework. They know the game plan. They know everything. But in the back of their head, they're thinking about, man, I just got in a fight with my girlfriend and she's going to probably turn me into the police or she's going to sue me for this. That's in the back of their head. And now the game starts, and here's the best thing. This is the best way to describe it. If you're looking at the movie Replacement Players, and Shane Falco character is talking about quicksand. So, and he's talking about you just get deeper. You're trying harder and harder, and you just get deeper and deeper. For some strange reason, I just can't catch the damn ball, and it's hitting me right in the hands, and I can't catch it. And it's a mental thing that's blocking, and that mental is everybody who plays sports, Brown, they got to have a clear head. I mean, like they got to be able to compartmentalize what they're going through and put it to the side and say, look, I'm going to focus on this right now. And some young players can't do it. They can't do it. Now, DK Metcalf should be able to do it, but some young players can't do that. They can't do that at all. I mean, so that's a good point. The code of conduct, they don't read that. They ain't read shit. I mean, that's not one young player that I know of that come in there and say, I'm gonna read the code of conduct. No, he's gonna learn from other players. So that's just the way it works. But that's a good point to bring up that as far as the code of conduct and why they should read it and why it's important. Joes, what's going on with you?
And how are you?
I'm doing good. Why your voice sound like that?
Like, it's that time of year, man. It's allergies.
Allergies tear me up, man. I'm telling you.
I hear that.
But go ahead, Joe. Talk to me.
So my main example is the Eagles and their drama this year. I felt like some of it was kind of coming onto the field because, that was one of like the most talked about topics on this year. Like every day it was just like, oh, AJ's not happy. Oh, everybody wants Jalen Hurts gone. Like, and I do think that ended up affecting them, especially at the end, and especially AJ Brown. And for me, it was kind of co-signed by Jason Kelsey, after the season was over. And he himself said that he felt like all the drama was kind of like, getting into AJ's head, and that frustration was like kind of contributed to him dropping those balls, during the playoffs.
You know what's crazy, Jones? You know what's crazy? I know this from experience, right? You're playing football and you have a teammate who's unhappy, right? And that teammate comes to you and say, man, I wish these bastards throw me the ball. Why are they not throwing me the ball? I'm open. Then they throw you the ball and you drop it.
Mm-hmm.
So you drop it. And the reason why you drop it is because you're so busy complaining. You're so busy complaining about what you're not getting, and it's affecting you and the way you play, and you don't realize. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's not just in football. That's in life. Like it's you complain, and it affects the way you are and the way you act, and your ability to perform. That's why I tell everybody that's around me, stop complaining, and just play the game or just do what you're supposed to do. Justina, what's going on?
I got this third ward spot.
Morning.
Greetings. You do basically the topic is, Justina, is how does the off the field play of football players or sports in general, how does it affect them on the field?
I think it affects them a lot. I will point out, not football, but that basketball game against Detroit and the Hornets when they got into that huge brawl. I think that was very disappointing to see, especially when you have a lot of fans encouraging it and like excited that happened. I think we have to take a look at who these people are. Like, these are professional athletes. Like, this is their job. They don't have another job. This is their job. This is, well, like, I go to the office every day. This is their job. And for them to be out there and being the example to other players, to children, to women, I don't think that it's encouraging to see a lack of emotional intelligence when we have brawls and we're excited that that's happening. I think that's a big problem in sports.
You know what's funny? I know Cody probably remember this too. I remember the brawl that took place in years ago with Meta World Peace in Indiana and the Detroit Pistons.
The Malice at the Palace.
Malice at the Palace. I remember that brawl, and believe it or not, ladies, that brawl started because of a fan.
Through Ron Artest. Ron Artest and Ben Wallace got into a scuffle. Ron Artest made the decision to go lay on the scores table, and a fan threw a drink at him. And him and Rasheed Wallace went into the stands and beat the shit out of that guy, essentially.
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of that guy.
I mean, we saw it in football this season, too. I forgot the guy's name off the top of my head, but the Steelers guy who came and punched the fan, DK. That was not cool. Diggs, the announcer in the Super Bowl, is like, if you want drama, just wait till Diggs shows up. Like, I think that there's a commitment that we should have of having some emotional, like, responsibility. I don't think that's cool or something that should be celebrated when men are out there doing that.
Let me ask you a question, Brianna. Let me ask you a question. What do you think the NFL or any sports industry, NBA, Major League Baseball, what do you think they should do? Two-part question. What do you think they should do about fans trolling and about NFL players reacting to it?
I definitely think.
Hold on, you cut out. What you cut out? Brianna, you there? She cut out. Now I can hear you. Go ahead.
I definitely feel like there should be guidelines for the fans, especially the ones that are a little bit closer to the field where the players can actually hear them, and all the heckling and disrespect. I feel like they should, maybe you get a warning for the first time, and the second time you just can't come back because you're affecting the players. Even though I feel like the players should have some level of control and not respond. The same with the players. You get a warning, and then there needs to be some type of repercussion too, because you're causing too much drama over emotion. It's just all emotion and unnecessary.
You know what's funny, ladies? I think about this all the time. I know there's people in the audience right now, like Adam is saying, fans aren't at work. Football players or basketball players, they're at work, right? But I'm gonna ask Adam for a question. I'm gonna ask Adam, if you're at work yourself and somebody's constantly trolling you, like, how would it affect you? Now I'm gonna be honest, coach is right. It's a lack of focus because a professional football player, basketball player, baseball, they gotta focus.
Yeah.
You know them fans are gonna be now. I'm not. Now here's the thing I'm telling y'all. It has changed, coach, and ladies. It has changed. At one time, you knew the fans and what they were gonna do and what they were gonna say, so you were ready for that. And NFL and professional athletes, they loved it because they enjoyed them talking noise to them and this and that, and that was cool. But now it's not like that anymore. These people find out personal things about you, and then they come in the game and use it.
Let's say the internet.
Yep.
The internet. I mean, I'll sound like you real quick, Swag. I sound old as hell, but the internet is.
Cody, you got an old soul.
Dang, Cody.
Wow.
Hey, you know, man. Swag, my boy.
Old in the morning.
He just up there, you know.
Cody, you need to stop saying I'm so damn old, dude. I'm not.
But in all seriousness, the internet is a blessing and a curse at the same time. You know, back in the 80s and stuff, when the internet wasn't as prominent, the only thing you had to
wasn't
fuel
existence
heckling
in the 80s,
was
Cody.
the play. Well, you know, I don't know. I was born in the 2000s, Carolina.
Born in 81.
But-
We had no internet. We had to go to the
Yeah,
library.
so back
and
when
get
the
a
internet
book.
wasn't a thing and it wasn't prominent, what you had to go off of was what you heard, what you saw on the field, and what you might have heard, through a paper, through a radio. So there was only a select few things you could choose to heckle about. But, nowadays you can look up players and get their entire backstory. Oh, this player's brother happened to pass away when he was 9 in a car accident.
Mhm.
This player's aunt is currently in the hospital for cancer. And unfortunately, there are fucked up people out there that will say that stuff just to try and get the edge.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously we don't know. Nobody will probably ever know 100%. But it's alleged that the fan in Detroit called DK Metcalf some racial slurs and said some things about his mother.
Yeah, but he needs to have control on how to respond.
Oh, I
to
agree.
that.
You can ask Swag. I was one of the main people criticizing DK. My main point is, why the fuck are you even over there in the first place?
Yeah.
Right.
And
Why are you even over there in the first place?
And not to be hard on DK, but that happened with Joe Mixon 2 seasons ago. It was a damn Titans game, and he's over there, arguing with fans on the sideline. And we were only down by 5 points. And long story short, he got the opportunity to make a touchdown. Like, he was right there close to the goal line, but he ended up getting pushed out at the last second. And that's why I was like, yeah, you too busy worried about arguing with the fans. You need to be focusing on playing.
Well, and you could
Agreed.
even talk about CJ Stroud's performance in the playoffs. And I'm sorry, it's early in the morning. I forget the coach's name right off the top of my head. D'Amico. I feel like he should have had a more responsibility of helping him with his emotions during that game. A lot of people, they don't like that talk, but I think CJ is young. That should be somebody on the coaching staff that helps that man learn how to deal with his emotions and not play the way that he did.
No, I feel that somebody could have helped calm him down, because in the beginning, he was obviously rattled, right?
Well, and that could have been an all-season thing, like the coaches working with him on his emotions. We talk about these players like they are expected to do all of this. These are little boys. These people are 20, 21, 22, 23. They haven't learned how to deal with their emotions. I mean, ladies, you guys know it takes till men are 40 to be able to date them, right?
Barely even then.
Right?
Right. Barely that.
These are little boys. They need guidance.
Yeah, I feel like I just got attacked.
Older men do
This
have
is crazy.
something to offer, right? I mean,
Yep.
I just got attacked. I'm only 22.
I'm gonna be honest with you. All you guys have made some hell of a points. I gotta share this with you, because what she just said. So that was a game that I seen last year, and I'm sure you guys seen it too. I know Jess seen it. Joe, I know all y'all seen this game. Kansas City played Jacksonville. It was a Monday night game, and Trevor, the Chiefs went up 14-0. Trevor Lawrence was freaking out on the sideline. He was freaking out. Lee Coleman had to grab him by his chest and tell him to calm down. And the whole point about that is when you said D'Amico Ryan, D'Amico is young himself. I mean, and you're right. Somebody should have been, as soon as he made his first mistake, somebody should have been right there to tell him, calm down. Like that, because when you're dealing with emotions in a sporting event, and these guys are all young, like Brandon said and Jessina said, these guys are young. Like they are very. I try to tell people all the time, and when people are looking at them and saying, "Well, he's this and he's this, he choked, he this, he that, he this," Sam Darnold was a perfect example. I see ghosts. I'm seeing ghosts out there. They caught that hot mic, and boy, they just shot that thing out. This guy got to live with that forever. Until some coach get a hold of you and say, "It's all right, man. Calm down. Let that pass." Have you guys ever seen the movie For the Love of the Game?
No.
It's a baseball movie. Kevin Costner's a star.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a scene in that movie where a player is trying to catch a ball in the outfield, and he misjudged the ball, and the ball hits him in the head, and he became the laughing stock. Period. And he's in the locker room, and Kevin Costner comes up to him and said, "Don't let them make you a laughing stock.
Yep.
We're going to go out there and we're going to walk that damn field so you can understand the next time you come here, you're going to play the way we know you can play. And the reason I say it is because all young players have to have somebody like that in that locker room or in the coaching staff that can do that. And Brianna, you should know about this one. 4 years ago, they're in a Monday night game. Patrick Mahomes get called for a false start because he's bobbing his head. He's trying to get him to jump outside, and he bobs his head. And it was a critical part of the game. And they ended up getting a penalty, and they have to punt. As soon as he came to the sideline, Eric Bieniemy grabbed him and was on his ass. Like, you can't do that. You can't make that mistake. And these are the kind of things that help mold players. So what happened with DK Metcalf won't happen again. But believe me, Cody is right. They're gonna find out information on you that you think they would never say. And just think about it. I'm thinking about my mom, who's in the hospital with cancer. And every day that she's here, I feel like it's a blessing. And I'm playing a football game, and then a fan out of nowhere just literally says, "I hope your mom died."
Oh,
Like,
That's awful.
it's gonna blow your mind. I mean, like, you're gonna just lose it right there because they're not
Happened in
taking
baseball. It happened in
consideration.
baseball last year.
I mean, I said it again now.
It happened in baseball last year. Jose Ramirez for the Guardians lost his mom earlier in the year. I think they were playing the White Sox, and a fan was talking about his mom. I mean, they had Jose Ramirez, who's usually a pretty well-mannered guy, pretty calm guy, reduced to tears on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll rattle you. I mean, it would rattle anybody.
I lost my mom to cancer 6 years ago. The world sucks without your mom.
I lost my mom to cancer at 17.
Lost mine to cancer when I was 8.
so
Fuck cancer. I will say
No,
that.
for real.
yeah, fuck cancer. I mean, like, but I'm just getting everybody understanding. Coach, I can't wait to get Coach up here because Coach is telling, he's going to tell y'all the part that I know and you guys know too. Football players and sport athletes have to understand that a fan is going to say and do whatever they can say and do to get you off your game. And even though it's cruel, it's horrible, you still got to be a professional. Sit your ass down, ignore the noise, and say, "I'm going to show them what I can do." In other words, put that energy that you was going to show that emotion and put it on the field.
Yeah. Did you guys see Little Giants? Do you remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, this game is 80% mental, 20% physical, because those little boys were crying all the time. He's like, get yourself together.
I mean, like, don't get me started on Little Giants because that movie is one of my favorite movies.
I love that movie. They're supposed to come out with the second one.
They
need to leave it alone.
They need to leave it alone.
It's just pricelessly funny. So I'm just getting everybody to understand women can understand this better than men. Off the field, they know that because women are made to be emotional creatures. So therefore, when men come on the field, they strong and hey, look, I can handle this. And we think that every man or every athlete can handle that. Coach is right. You're supposed to teach yourself. You're supposed to focus to the point where nothing can bother you. Close the mechanism. I don't want to hear anything. I don't hear anything. I don't see anything but what I'm supposed to do. But unfortunately, some of those guys emotionally are not good. Vince Lombardi said this in his book, if y'all hadn't read it. He said, you got to coach players to where they at. In other words, if they are weak emotionally, you can't scream at them. Now, a woman would say, well, he's sensitive and he's that. And he said, no, he's just weak emotionally. And he would say, like, that's a player I will pull to the side and I would say, hey, young man, this is not how we do this. We do it this way. He said, then you got some players who are strong emotionally. So he'll just attack them and say, you suck, you this, you that, you get off my damn field. And they can take that as motivation. But he said, but if you do that kind of coaching to a player who's weak emotionally, you're losing forever. There's nothing you can get him to do to perform like you know he can. So I think that's important. I don't know what do you guys think? Because she just said D'Amico Ryans. I'm gonna be honest with you. D'Amico Ryans was a strong-minded person. So when he played football, he was strong-minded. So it's kind of hard for him to say, CJ, come on, man. That's what he's gonna say. CJ, come on, man. I need you. I need you to do this. I need you to. But what CJ needed was somebody to say, hey, you do understand this is just the first damn quarter, right? You need to calm your ass down.
Yeah.
Look, that's why I said we got to get Coach JB in our quarterbacks room. I feel like that'll help.
Yeah.
So that's highly important. Anything else? Anything you want to add? Anything else you want to add, Cody?
No, not really. I was
fell asleep again.
nah. I'm just listening here chilling.
I wanted to point out that game. I can't remember who we were playing, the Chiefs, but when Kareem Hunt fumbled at the goal line and was about to just beat himself up. Denver game. Mm-hmm. And Travis Kelce came over.
Oh, when we beat you?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Travis Kelce came over and was like, absolutely not. We are not about to beat ourselves up. Hell no. Travis Kelce has had his, I feel like Travis, even though he doesn't get into his personal business like that, I feel like the back and forth with Taylor and his ex has gotten to his head this season.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe, but Jason Kelce is a good influence for Travis. If you watch Jason, I watch his podcast a lot. That guy has a lot of emotional intelligence. Mm-hmm. He's a very good source.
You know what that made me think of too? This was one of my favorite moments from Hard Knocks this year. The Cowboys game when they played the Eagles. And you know how in the beginning, I forgot if it was a shutout, but I think they still hadn't scored until like almost halftime or right after halftime, something like that. And Dak was still on the sideline, like telling them, like, yeah, they can't fuck with us. Like, they can't fuck with us. And y'all are down. And you see that help them, rally and come back and win that game.
I love when I see leadership. Because if you don't have, especially young players, rookie players, young players, when they come, they can play the game of football. They wouldn't be there if they couldn't play the game of football. But that's those type of emotions and that kind of pressure on them. And even if they've been in the national championship in college, it's not the same type of pressure because in the NFL, you have 2 to 3 games in a playoff that you lose, you out. I mean, it's no such thing as coming back. So they get caught up in that moment. And I can remember, Joe's, when you guys had a 24-0 lead on us, on Kansas City.
You don't have to remind me of that, Coach.
Yeah, and Mahomes come over to the sideline and he starts screaming at the sideline saying, it's us, we're beating ourselves, we're going to go out there and we're going to win this damn game and this, and that. And I'm still just saying to myself, even when he was saying it and I saw the film on it, I was like, shit, I would be like, no, we ain't. We get our ass looked. I mean, I don't know how you can focus in that point, but it only takes one person to get a young person to understand, hey, it ain't over until it's over.
Yeah.
And when those young guys understand it and they get their emotions in check, everything changes. I mean, everything changes for them. And then when they get in that situation again, later on down the road, they good. I mean, they good. I'm like, we've been here before. It's no big deal. I mean, so I love how in the Eagles Super Bowl when Kansas City was getting their ass whooped, Justin Reed was sitting on the twine. We've been here before. We've been here before. We can come back. And I'm like, I don't know about this one, brother. But still the point that he said. I mean, it's the point that he said. So I think you guys, I just want to tell y'all all you ladies that are on the show today. I'm just going to tell y'all this now. Thank y'all so much for this because it means a lot to me that women actually come on the show and contribute to the show. I don't care what anybody say. I got a lot of men. And I will be saying this to the audience so the audience can hear. These women know more than some of y'all ass do. Y'all think I know. Y'all think I don't know. I know. And that's because they study the game. They don't just sit there and watch ESPN. They study the game. They're learning. I hope they're starting to watch film because eventually they're going to start watching film. And when they start doing that, they're going to take over. Y'all think I'm lying? Y'all look around social media, how all these women popping up left and right, talking about sports. I mean, that ain't no joke. That ain't no fluke. It's something going on. So you might want to start respecting women when it comes to sports. Because I know I gotta tell y'all this story, and then I'll end y'all segment. But I gotta tell y'all this story. It used to be 4 guys every single Sunday. We got together and we watched football game. We watched it all day. I mean, from the first game to the last game at night, we watched football. And there was one female in the middle of all of us watching these games all day long. Now she cursed like a sailor, but she was right there with us. And I remember looking at her saying, "What made you get into football?" I mean, like, it's not like she was just talking noise and being a fan. Her ass knew the game. And I was like, "What made you get into football?" And it started out with her. She said, I was the only girl, and I had my dad and I had my brothers. She said, all of us watched football. She said, I had no choice. She said, while some little girls were playing with dogs, I was watching football. I mean, like, so, and she said, it's the only way I can be with my brothers because they weren't going to play with dogs with me. They wanted to watch football. She said, all of a sudden, she just started liking the game. So I just got to ask everybody before we end this segment, Joes, what got you into football?
Well, what made me interested in it in the first place, I used to cover the sports column while I was in high school, and I had to take pictures at all the football games. So, that's kind of what exposed me to the sport because I didn't really come from a football family. And then when I got with my boyfriend, he was he liked it a lot, and that made me want to sit and watch every game with him. And, I know some people think it's annoying when your girlfriend asks you questions during the game, but he would explain it to me, during the game. And I just wanted to learn more so I could talk more about it with him. And yeah, that's what made me comfortable speaking about it more.
I love it. Brianna, what got you in the game?
Growing up in Kansas City, my entire family was all Chiefs fans. So all I remember is just having the game on and them screaming at the TV. Even the church, we would watch games at the church. So all I knew was Chiefs. But to get me really deeper into it was my ex was into football a lot. So I'm like, I've always been around Chiefs and football, but I really want to learn about the whole league. I need to know more than just Chiefs stuff. So I got a lot deeper into it. Start asking a whole bunch of questions until I just veered off and just start doing my own research.
Justina, what got you into football?
Football. So I live in Wyoming, and the Denver Broncos came up and played basketball against our community college. And it was when Elway was still playing, and I got to meet all the team. And then I became a Broncos fan ever since.
Yeah, I noticed you said Elway. That means she back in my time. So
yeah, I watched Elway. I watched him win the 97 and 98 Super Bowls. Yeah.
I didn't like that. I was a Chiefs fan, so I didn't like that. But
the first Super Bowl I remember though was the Niners and the Broncos in 6th grade in 1990 when the Niners beat us 55-10. Because I dressed up like the Broncos going to school. Yeah, I hated that Super Bowl, but yeah.
You know what? One thing, people are gonna think I'm crazy when I say this. I would rather for my team to lose a Super Bowl in a blowout than a close game.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I guess if it's a blowout somewhere along the table, that's a little boy. Somewhere along the lines, I'm gonna say right around the first, second, maybe third quarter, and be like, well, this one's over. So let's just watch to see what happens. So I mean, I just get to that point, but I don't lose the close game because that'll hurt me. And I don't like that at all. But I just wanted you guys to know now, Coach, all you guys are listening. Not move. What's up, Zach? What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Zach, you ever been on the show?
Yeah, I've been on here before. Most of the time, I'm just in the comments.
I got you. So you know I don't use the N-word or anything like that, but other than that, we will be good.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Coach, where you at? Coach, where you at? Coach, where you at? Is he has his ass on the phone again?
No, I'm right here.
So, Coach, you was disagreeing with a lot of stuff, and I already know why you was disagreeing. But I still want you to tell them why you were disagreeing.
All right, the DK. The reason I was disagreeing on the DK thing is because I understand when you're not at a game. If he's out somewhere and a fan or somebody is heckling him and talking trash to him or whatever, I can understand, him feeding into it. During a game, it is unheard. During a game, there is no excuse, right? No excuse whatsoever, because you should be focused on the game. You shouldn't even be over there. They're not. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. The only person when I played that I could hear honestly in a crowd, the only person I could honestly hear was my mother. That was the only voice I could honestly hear was my mother's, and I'm being 100% honest. Because no matter what, you always want to hear your mother's voice. Like that just goes without saying. You always want to hear Mom Duke's voice. But as far as anybody else, nothing nobody else said. I didn't pay you one bit of attention because I ain't got time for you. I got focused on this game. During the game, I just feel as though during the game. See, here's the thing: in life, if I can outthink you, I'll beat you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I always break it down to life is 10% of what happens to you is 90% of how you react to it. Right? It's 90% of how you react to it. Same thing I tell my players. This game is 10% physical, it's 90% mental. If I can outthink you, I will beat you. That's not just in football, that's in life. Period. Right? So if you're not mentally focused on what you're supposed to be focused on, and you're worrying about outside noise that has nothing to do with the task at hand, then that's a lack of focus. That's a lack of focus on your part. And to be honest, I put a lot of that on the coaches because a lot of that is coaching. Now, a lot of that is coaches prioritizing on being mentally focused. You focusing on your craft, focusing on the task at hand. There's nowhere on God's green earth, Deacon. Listen, it wasn't the same as the Ron Artest situation where somebody threw something at you. He was talking trash. He was just talking. And as far as I'm concerned, you should have been so locked in, and you should have been so locked in on the game that you shouldn't have heard what he said. You shouldn't have heard it. Well, I don't care what he called you. I don't care what he called you on the sideline. You should be so locked into this game that you're not paying attention to those stupid blue-haired wig-wearing fans. Like honestly, you should not be paying attention to him. I don't care what he says to you. You should not hear it.
Coach, I have a question.
You should not hear it while you're on that field. Now, like I said, if you're out at dinner and somebody's, want to say some craziness and do some foolishness, I understand. You're still a human. Like whether I'm a professional or not, I'm still a human. I'm still trying to eat dinner. This guy's over here talking this crap. I understand. That I completely understand. Right? But at a game, while you're at work, at a game, there's absolutely no excuse for you ever to feed into a fan. Not while the game is in session. You should be locked in on the game. Now, if they physically disrespect you with like a cup or, they try to spit on you, any foolishness like that, listen, I'm the first one to tell you. I'm going to turn around, dog. Do what you got to do. I'm going to turn my back. Do what you got to do, dog. He just violated. I don't see nothing. He just violated. But like I said, at a game, no. At a game, no. At a game, words from a fan should not affect you, not one iota.
Coach, Apostle want to ask you a question.
Okay, Coach, do you remember Allen Iverson was at a game playing against the Indiana Pacers, and this woman kept heckling him, like cussing at him, and he turned around and ignored the woman fan and dropped 50, I forget how many points, on the Indiana Pacers and started calling, after they won the game, he turned around and started cussing the woman out, called her fatty and all of this after the game.
After the game, absolutely after the game. And I completely and I was in complete agreements with it. He shut her up by dropping 50 and then made it worse by after he dropped 50, now I'm gonna talk shit back to you. Absolutely. I completely condone that all day long.
You know what's funny, Joe? I know y'all may have seen this, y'all may have not. Anything happening in football more than we know. But in basketball, it's right there in your face. Like that, when Cameron Durant told Brianna to sit down and shut up.
Well, you seen LeBron. You seen LeBron, which I thought was a kind of a bitch move. But you saw LeBron go to security and say, "Yo, I want him out of here."
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. What that guy said is fucked up. Coach, you remember what that guy said?
Nah. I don't. Be honest with you.
He that man. There's multiple people that have backed that man wished death on both Bronny and Bryce.
Mm-mm.
Oh, see, now you're going to the kids.
He was wishing harm on LeBron's kids.
But see, here's the thing. See, this is my whole thing about when you become, and this is what I think. See, a lot of the way these kids react is because of who's in their camp, and I don't mean their football camp. I mean in their everyday life camp, their support system. A lot of how these kids react depends on their support system and how and the camps that they have. On their support system and how and the camp that they have. On their support system and how and the camp that they have. Their support system and how.
Oh yeah, something.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. Somebody had an echo. It's crazy, but no, because see, listen. The one thing that I always try to prepare my players is mentally. I try to prepare them mentally more than anything, right? I try to prepare them because the mental part is what's going to make you or break you, is the mental part. So I try to prepare them mentally. I don't think these guys are being prepared mentally enough to understand you as a professional athlete, you become a public figure. As a public figure, you open yourself up to public scrutiny. And I don't think that's embedded enough into these young athletes and truly given an understanding of that. And that's why they react and do the things they do, because they are not properly mentally prepared for the exposure that they're going to have of their lives. Because you no longer have a private life.
That's like Coach Carter.
Have a private life no more.
They need a Coach Carter.
Right. But
they need him to go to the mansion and rip him out of the hot tub with all the girls.
But you no longer have your life is no longer private. Like, I mean, this has nothing to do with it, but I'm gonna give you this old rock band called Kiss. Old rock band named Kiss, right? They always had their faces painted, right? And the reason they always had their faces painted, because they were able, when they took that paint off, even though they were fucking rock stars and everybody loved them and they were making all this money and traveling the world and all this crap, when they took that paint off, they were able to go to McDonald's with their family and eat in peace because nobody knew who they was. Part of the reason of them breaking up was when the reporter got backstage and took a picture of them without their makeup on, because it wasn't the same anymore. Because now their lives were gone. The best thing about them being rock stars with that paint was they could turn into a character and be that character, and then wash that paint off and walk out that same arena that all them people were just screaming their names. Walk out that same arena, go in the bathroom, and go use the bathroom, and nobody would even bat an eye because they had no clue who they was, right? Because their lives were still private because they had the paint on. With these NFL players, you don't have no paint on. Your life is no longer private. Your contracts are public record. Once you sign your contract, right? Everything you do is in the news. You got TMZ and all these people running around here with phones and cameras trying to take pictures, trying to catch you do something, trying to catch you doing something. That's why I said I blame more on the camps meaning their support systems that they have around them and the people they choose to have around them than anything. Because I don't think these people are mentally preparing them for they're not mentally preparing them for fame. Yeah, you have to be mentally prepared for that.
I think that.
Go ahead, Justina. Then
I was just gonna add on and say I think that goes beyond sports. I think that's like a whole, that's a cultural thing in America and how we treat men and what we expect from men. Like we don't allow men to have emotions or learn how to deal with their emotions until it's too late.
I love that. Zach, what you got to say about this?
Really what I gotta say is, and it's not just sports, but you gotta learn to take the good with the bad. You love when you get the attention. You know what I'm saying? Some people feel like that, I love the praise, but first of all, everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody's not gonna praise you for what you do. So you got to be able to take when the fame and the money and all that, that's the good part. But you got to be able to take what comes with it too. That's part of the fame. You know what I'm saying? Because people want the money, but they don't want the other part. But you have to deal with both parts. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe. I know you want to say something.
Oh no, I was commenting. I agree.
I want to tell Zach something. You know what's funny? And I'm nowhere near a celebrity. I ain't making no goddamn money. I ain't famous. I ain't none of that shit. Right? So just get that out of the way first. And I told Brianna straight up, you're gonna get a lot of people who dislike you just because of my show. Mm. I said now that's crazy because like what you said, Zach, is so true. It's so true because you got to take the good and the bad. And I had to learn that, Zach, at a small scale when I first got on social media. I was like, why are people disliking me? I don't even know these people. Because I said something about their team that they didn't like. So yeah, you're 100. I feel you on that one, Zach. That's a hell of.
And that's like be careful what you pray for. Sometimes we pray for something and God give it to us, but you don't think about what's gonna come. I want to be rich. I want to be rich. I want to be this, but you don't think about what's going. Because everybody say I want to win the lottery, but you ain't thinking about what's gonna come with that lottery.
Right? Get that lottery ticket.
Problems.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a question. Y'all remember a movie that Brandon Fraser was starred in, right? And he had 3 wishes from the devil. Y'all remember that movie?
Yeah, I do.
You remember that movie?
What was that called? What was that called? The joint with the model. The model played the devil. The model played the devil. I know that.
Every time he would get a wish, he would give it to him, and then he ain't like what came with that wish. I mean, like you want to be famous, then you're gonna be inadequate in other places. I mean, you want to be. You want to be sensitive. I want to be sensitive, and then she made me cry every time you see a damn moon or sunlight. Like it was crazy because he's right. Be careful what you ask for, because you just might get. I mean,
Hey, yo, Swag, my father, I'll never forget. And I use this with my kids and my players and everything because it stuck with me. My father, I remember asking him to go to a party, right? I said, Dad, I go to this party, blah, blah, blah. He said no. And I was like, oh, man, like, why can't I go? This person's going to be there. I'll have a ride home and da. And my father said, whoa, wait a minute. My father said, listen, if I would have told you could go, would have said, oh man, Dad, why you letting me go to the party? He said, would you have said that? I said, no. He said, exactly. He said, because you respected the yes, because it's what you wanted to hear, right? So I was like, yeah. So he's like, well, listen to me. In life, you have to learn to respect no and take and accept you not getting what you want just as much as you accept yes and you get what you want. You got to learn how to respect both of them. He said, now don't ever in your life come to me again with that all man when I tell you no. Respect no the same way you respect yes. And that stuck with me, dog. And that stuck with me. So that I still use that to this day with my kids. Like, yo, I don't want to hear no rebuttal. I said no. Like
I'm gonna use that on my kids. I like that.
it's just so crazy because Coach Plum and I come from a different era. Justine is part of that era too. So I'm just gonna tell y'all this right now. One of the biggest things I had to learn from my dad, Coach, was when you are raising a kid to 12 years old, and then after that you're guiding them, because at that point when you start guiding. So what I mean by that is when my kids ask me something, they don't get yes or no. They get, if I say yes, this is gonna happen. If I say no, this is gonna happen. So choose which one you want. But remember, they all come with something.
I like that Swag.
So,
Yeah,
and he told me, and I go hold on, Pastor. And when he told me, when I learned at an early age, and I use that now, you will be surprised of how your children will be critical thinkers because of that.
Yep.
I mean, you'll be surprised how they sit back and look at you like, well, yes, sounded real good when I asked you, but I don't know. Like that. Let me think about no for a second. And I when you figure it out, come back and tell me and let me know whichever one you choose is good with me. I mean, it's crazy how they just sit back and all of a sudden it just doesn't sound as good as it used to sound. I mean, so that's just one thing that I did. That's just something I share with y'all because it made my life easier. It made my life so much easier because you already know what answer they should choose, but you got to get them to learn that too.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Apostle.
Yo, God damn it, Swag. I met you about 10 years too late. My kids are all about to leave the house now, dog. I could have used that shit 10, 15 years ago.
I know when I was growing up, if I asked my dad for something, my dad would say, go ask your mom. And then they would play like going back and forth. What your dad say? I'm like, he told me to ask you. And then they would go back and forth, and I would bring both of my parents in the room, like, look, one of y'all got to make the decision. One of y'all got to be the bad guy, and one got to be the good guy. Then my mom would say no, and then my dad would say, no, let him go. And then they would get into an argument back and forth. And I'd be sitting there like, you just told me to ask her, and then she say no, you say yes. What's going on here? And it would be confusion. Then they start arguing, and me and my sister would just sit there like, see, that's why we don't ask.
You know what's funny? I sit there and say this. What Coach is right about, one of the biggest things ever is when you see a football player and he goes in, or a sports or athlete, and he goes on the field. Some of those football players, especially the ones that are really, really talented, they normally don't have the emotional training that others will have. And the reason why is because they were so talented. And Coach will tell you, going up through the ranks, when they're going through little league, middle school, high school, going up through the ranks, they would basically just roll out a red carpet for them because they were so talented. And nobody took them on the side and say, hey, I don't give a damn how talented you are. You got to do this. They normally learn that when they go to college. I don't give a damn how talented you are. You got to do this. They normally learn that when they go to college. Hold on, you're echoing now, Apostle. So y'all see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's sad. I literally went to school with someone like that. He was one of them kids, like, had a better background, right? Like, everybody grew up kissing his ass because they knew he was gonna go to the league one day, like, star in high school, went to UT, like, did pretty good in college, ended up playing for the Vikings. And I guess the Vikings was a reality check for him. I don't know. But he was only in the league for maybe like 2-3 years. And sadly enough, last year they picked him up in a sting. And, he was caught, with some people doing some pharmaceuticals and he was buying, not selling. So that was sad.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I had a player that had a full scholarship to Maine. Full scholarship, full ride. Right? He gets to Maine. And this was in 2018 is why I remember so well, because my stepson, my wife's son, was playing in the state championship at MetLife Stadium. And I look up behind me, because I look up behind me and I see him. And I'm like, yo, dog, what are you doing here? Don't you got a game tomorrow? Like, Maine plays tomorrow. Like, what are you doing here? So he says, so I end up seeing him later at halftime, and I get to, sidebar with him and chop it up. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing here, dog? And he's like, oh, I'm about to transfer, coach. I said, transfer for what? I said, transfer for what? He's like, oh, coach, they wasn't trying to give me no playing time. I said, what? He said, oh, yeah, they wasn't trying to give me no playing time. I said, hold on, dog. I said, wait a minute. Now, his nickname was Flash. So I said, hold on, dog. You didn't think you was Flash at Maine, did you? I said, dog, you're Flash in Atlantic City. You're not Flash in Maine. I said, don't nobody give a fuck about what the fuck you did in Atlantic City in Maine. I said, every freshman that's there was the best in their high school. Nobody give a fuck about what the, I said, dog, I said, dog, you're Nas the towel boy. You're Nas the freshman. You're Nas, go get the clipboard. I said, you gotta earn your shit. I said,
Go
what
get the
fuck?
clipboard's crazy.
I said, I said, dog, you didn't really think that you were going to be Flash at Maine, did you? I said, I hope to God that was not your ideology. You really thought they gave a fuck about what you did in Atlantic City, New Jersey high school. I said, I hope you did not think that. Don't nobody give a fuck about what you do in high school, dog. When you reach college,
Start calling them flashcard, flashboard,
yeah,
flashcard.
like listen, and see, listen, and I blame myself, and I put part of that on myself, But then I remember watching him in high school. And I remember how one time he threw his helmet off and waved off a coach, and there was no disciplinary action done. Like he was let right back out on the field. He actually told the coach, get out of his face. There was no disciplinary action done. So it go back to like Josie said, when these guys like Swag was saying, when you're coming up through the ranks, it's a pro and a con sometimes to be a great player because you do not learn how to deal with certain adversity when you're a great player coming up through the ranks in your local town. Because I can even tell you, no, when I played football in high school, listen, I was a class clown, disciplinary, like teachers couldn't stand when I came in their classroom. I was always doing something. But I would get sent to what was called room 116. I would get sent to room 116. And when I got in there, you know what they would say? How many tackles you had this week? I had such and such. All right, get out of here. Don't let it happen again. Like, so I know for a fact it actually happens. I've gotten, caught off school grounds or whatever, and they turn the other cheek or, turn the blind eye because I was on the football team. So I know it truly does happen, but when we do it, it's a disservice to that child and to that player. It's a disservice to them. We're hurting them. We're not helping them.
Right. I think on what Coach is saying, people don't hear no enough and know what to do with it. No doesn't always mean no. No can be a doorway to yes, but you have to look at what it is that it's telling you. Like, why are they saying no? Are they saying no because I'm in sales, so I hear no all the time. And if I don't get a no, that's like there's no doorway to move forward. I have to learn, did I not include enough information? Do I need to educate more? Do I need to do this, do that, whatever it is? But a no means there's another chance. Like they're paying attention. There's something that I did that's no. If you relate that to sports, like these athletes, they hear no, and a lot of times it's immediately that means no. Like, I suck and I'm going to throw a temper tantrum and all of this. I bring up a good example. I mean, I'm a Broncos fan, but if you listen to Nick's when he was told, I think it was the Green Bay game, we were the underdogs, or was it I don't remember what game, but he changed the narrative and went out and told everybody we were the overdogs. I think that was a good example of taking that no and doing something positive with it, moving forward.
You know what's funny, guys?
Hey, Swag. You remember Mark for Death? The movie with Steven Seagal. Yo, what did Screwface say? The villain in that movie says something that was so powerful. He said, "Everybody wants heaven, but nobody wants death." So everybody wants heaven, but nobody wants death.
The funny part about it is, you get a superstar. If you don't catch a superstar or phenom at the right time, where his mind is wide open to learn, and the biggest thing you got to teach a phenom is discipline. That's the biggest thing, because he don't need a lot of help with. That's funny. I know all of you guys have seen Jerry Maguire, right? Everybody has seen Jerry Maguire, but there's a part in Jerry Maguire that a lot of people don't pay attention to, and I thought it was one of the best parts of the movie. When the movie is coming on and Jerry Maguire is talking about what it means to be a sports agent, they're showing a lot of phenoms. And one of the phenoms is a golf player, is a little kid, and he's a golf player. He's like 10, 12 years old. This guy's going to be the next Tiger Woods. And his coach is trying to coach him, and the kid gets mad and just throws his freaking golf club way across the field. And everybody was like, well, why is that important? Because that's what most phenoms do. That's what most of them, they are so good. When you're trying to coach them, you're trying to coach them on, okay, critique them on this, critique them on that, critique them on this. And they don't really need that. What they need is you to teach them the mind, the mental part of the game. They already know how to play the game. They can get better, and they know that, but they need the mental part of the game. If you ain't never watch Tiger Woods movie, the true story about Tiger Woods, when his dad was teaching him. His dad was teaching him the mental part of the game. Because the mental part is what really is going to matter when you get on that field. Hey, you're going to find out real quick, like my coach was talking about flash. You ain't flashing you flash in New Jersey. You ain't flashing Maine. The simple reason is you start working hard. You wanted your reputation to get you everything that you had. But you got other players that, you know what? They may not be as good as you. They may not be as fast as you, but they work their ass off. And them coaches see that. And when they see that, they know that in the end, the talent, the work will outdo the talent. That's why it's so amazing for me to see people who are superstars in the NFL that still work hard, or superstars in the NBA that still work hard. I don't know if y'all heard it. Have y'all ever heard of what Steph Curry does? Man, when you're talking about how Steph Curry, how much he runs after practice, how much he runs before practice. I mean, like, just constantly keep working.
That's a good example. Steph Curry is, yeah.
And this dude is amazing. But guess what? Curry's working hard. He's working hard. And young players don't seem to understand that. Let me ask you a question. Brian, I'm going to ask you this, because this is the thing that we talked about in the earlier part of the show. Rasheed Rice and JB, you too, you can join on this. Rasheed Rice go out and miss all those balls, right? The first thing I would have did, if I'm starting missing balls, I already know it's focus. But when even when coach will tell you, even when you lose focus, you actually forget. At some point, you forget how to catch too, because your focus is gone. I would have got in front of a freaking machine and 1,000 balls would have hit my hand right after that. And I would start getting my focus back. I mean, because what did they say? This is crazy. This was crazy for me to hear. And it's actually true. I heard Steve Young tell a story about Jerry Rice. He said, we had just won the Super Bowl. We went and we partied. We did all these things. We flew back to San Francisco. He said, when we got back to San Francisco, everybody was getting their clothes, cleaning out their locker to go home for the season. Jerry Rice was on the field catching passes. Young kids don't understand that part of the game. Once you know how to catch, once you know how to run passes, because the thing about it is, Rasheed Rice was missing balls that we've seen him catch, but he was missing balls. And I know it had something to do with the whole field. I know it had something to do with his focus. Coach was 100% right on that. How in the world do you go from catching balls, JB Brown, to missing balls unless something wrong with you?
And lo and behold, he had some drama going on behind the scenes.
I mean, okay, coach, you're a coach, right? Right?
Absolutely.
You got a player and you know he's good. And he showed you that he's good, right? Whatever position he plays doesn't matter. And then all of a sudden he's not good.
I pull him to the side because I know something's wrong mentally.
Something's wrong with you. So and JB, when you saw Rasheed Rice missing those balls, what were you thinking? I know I was thinking like, what the hell is going on with you?
Man. Man.
JB had some choice words about him missing ball.
You might not be, I don't know, man. If you're missing that type of shit, and you want to get that credit for him, you might not be him, in my opinion.
Hey, yo, but here's another
I had
thing
that room to say that you him or to act, like, yeah, I mean, you make some good plays, bro, but hey, man, maybe pipe down on a little bit less celebration, worry less about doing them sellies, man, okay? Like,
maybe us as fans kind of boosted his head up a little bit, trying to like, oh yeah, right, coming back, Mr. Yak, that. He feeling himself.
Yeah.
Being an a-hole behind the scenes, maybe, possibly, allegedly. And
no, it wasn't no allegedly.
Look. I'm gonna say this. There's a sworn affidavit by her, signed and sworn, and she could also face perjury of her saying that he never did shit that she fucking said. So, I mean, whatever it is, whatever. I mean, it holds. His lawyer has it and posted that shit on Twitter yesterday. That
no matter what, it was drama.
She can face perjury. Oh yeah, she can face perjury for this shit because she swore that in the entirety of it all that nothing like that she's now claiming ever happened.
One of the biggest things that's why I won't take this for granted. When I was a senior in high school, I had a girl, this was like a week before a big game. I had a girl say that she was pregnant for me. Mm-hmm. And I barely knew the damn girl's name. I was like, what? I get pulled into my office. I get coaches coming to me. I got all this stuff going on. And I remember I just freaking exploded. Like, because I didn't understand why anybody would be starting that kind of rumor, doing all that kind of stuff just to get the attention from me. I couldn't believe that. And I remember my coach telling me, at some point, you got to focus on the game. If it's not true, you got to focus on the game. You got to move on with your life. Richard, if this is not true, eventually the truth will come out. And I remember how hard that was to do, knowing that I had nothing to do with why this girl was lying to me, and the truth did come out. So to your point, JB, when I see these guys being attacked by some of these females or even family members and stuff like that, that's why I don't jump on it. I don't jump on it because I want to let it all unfold.
And what else is crazy too is as soon as after that gets all released and kind of been aired out and shit, all of a sudden he's with some new on V-Day. And so I mean, hey man, sometimes
But
here's my thing.
Problem.
Here's been my big thing on this, man. Is and I get it. Like if you're I don't get it. The man's a traveling man. So many times out of the year, this man is going to be gone. If this shit is happening and you're so on claiming this, why are you still there? If this shit is happening and you're so on claiming this,
oh my God.
Should y'all be in school?
They probably are.
Those are kids in school right now.
Y'all need to pay attention in class.
Playing around.
I just don't know. I just don't know why. If you know that he's about to be out in Buffalo, New York, on September 13th of 2025 or 2024 or 2022, why aren't you dipping? Why aren't you getting out of there and making a report then? Why all of a sudden after he's been spotted with the new chick and around all this and all this speculation, now all of a sudden, he possibly did something.
Well,
you want to bring that up?
You know what,
But
JB? That goes to another point that I always have, and I guess I'm just strict, but part of the off-field shit is choosing who you deal with more wisely. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
deal with these crazy ass females, you're gonna get some crazy ass drama. And
Well,
I'm not gonna
I mean,
hey, Joe, like I said,
and the thing is, though,
your camp.
they just had a kid too. So like, it's not like he doesn't have no ties to her. He has ties to her. You know, they have been with each other for a while, and you know, I mean, maybe, you know, I mean, I don't know, man.
Hey,
I'm
hey,
just
hey,
saying, bro.
hey,
But
hey, yo,
him
hey,
moving
yo,
to
you know
Ruby
my
Rose is a bad decision too. Like she's
Yeah.
nothing but drama herself. So it's like you
Right.
go
Yeah.
from your kid's
but
mom and all of that drama to Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
That's
nah,
not gonna
I,
pan
but
out
listen,
like how you
but
think it
listen,
is either.
but listen. See, this is my this is my biggest problem.
You don't want to know.
A
Hey, yo,
304.
all right, so listen, this is my biggest problem, right? Because I get criticized and I get, you know, backlash. Because as a coach, I will not budge off of my values and my principles, and I will not budge off. I won't budge. It's cost me playoff games because I bench players during playoff games. I benched 2 players during a championship game in which we lost. And everybody's criticizing, oh, if coach wouldn't have benched that person, and he just this, that, and the third, and blah. But my question to them was always this: you're criticizing me for enforcing my rules, my principles, and my value. You're criticizing me for doing this, but yet you're not criticizing the players for breaking the rules and violating them.
Like Coach Carter.
It's not like hold on, it's not like it's a rule that I sprung up and didn't tell nobody it was a rule that if you did this, this would be the consequences of it. No, you knew all this since day one at camp. Since day one at camp, you knew what the rules were, what I'm going to take. Because on day one, I let you know what I will accept and what I will not accept. I let you know that day one. So now, later on the season, when you violate this rule, and now I stand 10 toes down on my rule, I'm criticized. But the player isn't criticized for breaking the rule. Like, that's my biggest problem. Like, yo, you want to come at me for enforcing my rules and treating everybody the same, from the starting running back down to the kid who nobody knows his name on the team. He's just a, hey, yo, you, come here, kid. But all the rules are the same. I treat everybody the same, but I'm criticized. Like I said, I'm criticized for enforcing my rules, but the player is not criticized for breaking them. That's my biggest problem.
You know what's funny, Coach, and all you guys, and Brianna just brought up a good point. Great, all you guys brought up a good point. I gotta say this. I gotta get this out. At some point in MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL, they gotta stop being so addicted to PMS. Like it's so crazy. And no, Brianna, I'm not talking about that PMS. It's power, money, and y'all know the word. Until they start understanding that shouldn't control your life. I think if you never watched He Got Game, there's that scene in there where he was telling people why professional, great players don't become pros, and that is so true. And really, it's those 3 things. I love the power, I love the money, and then there's the other part that comes with it. And you're not understanding that you're not thinking about what's really important, because what's important to you now as a young man or as a young woman and being an athlete, that's not going to be important when you get older. That's not going to be important at all. I'll give you an example. One of the biggest things that I know about myself is, and y'all don't see me outside of social media, I like to dress. I like to have nice clothes on. It's funny how the older I got, that didn't make that big of a deal. Like, I still like to have on nice clothes, but I don't care if I do or don't. It matters. The only thing that matters now is do I have a legacy Did I do the right things enough? So when my kids and my peers look at me, they say, he did it right. That's what's important. And these guys are life-changing. It's life-changing money. Do you remember, Coach, when Zach, I know you probably remember this as well. When Deion Sanders used to be an analyst for, I think, CBS. It was a short time because what Deion Sanders would say was the truth. He wouldn't say what the producers wanted him to say. And one of his segments was Boomer Esiason was trying to gloss over what actually happens in a locker room. And Deion said, Boomer, you know damn well that's not what happens in a locker room. You know you have your whoremongers, you have your drug users, you have all of them are in one big group. And he said, and we create, and that's created through a team. A team is like that. Matter of fact, he also talked about when he pulled up in a Lamborghini at the Super Bowl. He had a Lamborghini. He ordered a Lamborghini to be pulled up at the Super Bowl when the 49ers played the Chargers in the Super Bowl. And Jerry Rice said, why are you bringing all this attention on yourself? And he said, you know, Jerry, as well as I know, the Chargers have no damn shot of beating us in the Super Bowl. And he said how that lifestyle can just take control of you. And that's what the young players are doing, and that's what they're running into, and that's what's hurting them, and that's why they pee with people like you was talking about, Brown. That brings attention to them, and they like that. They like that stuff. Even though they try to say they don't, they do. You can tell the players who don't like it. I mean, you can tell the players who do. Because you can say Stephon Diggs is not drama, but everything Stephon do in his personal life is drama. So how is he not drama? I mean, like
he loves drama.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know who said that.
He is messy.
I mean, it's just when you get off into that lifestyle and you think you're going to be able, and here's the thing, if you don't keep performing on the field, that lifestyle goes away. It goes away. So with all that being said, guys, it's been a fantastic show. I want to thank all these women. And I normally do my station break. I normally do my station break. All right, so guys, listen up. I want to share something with y'all. This is not about sports. This is about the show. I hadn't got in touch with JB yet because every time I want to talk to him, something happens. But what I want to do is I want to go to another level. And what I mean by that is I'm getting ready to have panels. And today you just pushed me over the edge, JB, with just bringing up I like to bring up new people on panels. And what I'm getting ready to do is get what I call a solid 5 to 6 people that's going to be on this panel no matter what. And then I'm going to have spots for guests. Because I want new people to jump up on, but I also want to make sure that these people can talk about sports like it is. So just know if you've been a part of this show, I don't have to call your name. If you've been a part of this show, basically for the last 3 months, you're probably somebody that I'm going to want up on my panel. I mean, I'm just going to tell you that now. If you haven't been on the panel and you've just been in the audience and you want to come on the panel, let me know and just send me a message and tell me. But I'm getting ready to do that, and I'm going to reserve the special guests for people like Santana, who don't come on the show all the time, but he is still part of the show. Like that, because I look at you got Almighty is one of them. Almighty chooses. He texts me the night before, calls me and say, I want to be on the show. Some people know where they stand with me as far as the show goes. But I want to get this show under control, and I want to go to another level. And I got some ideas that I'm going to talk to JB about, because here's the deal. I do not give a rat's ass about anything but talking about football and sports. And by the way, while I'm on that subject, let me just get this shit out the way too. If Justina is still listening, Brianna, you already know this. Joes, you should know it. If I'm talking to a female or I contact you, I am not trying to get no ass. I'm just telling you right now.
Right.
You gotta warn them, Swag.
Right.
You gotta warn them.
Right. Just letting you guys know.
I'm not. That's not what my intentions are. My intentions are because your ass can talk about sports and I see talent. I want you to come on the show.
Right.
I mean, I need to get that out of the way because I'm tired of messaging females saying, hey, I seen you in the audience today. Would you like to be a part of the show? And I get either blocked or something like that. And I'm like, damn. Like,
oh no.
I mean, so spread the word. I got women on here that'll tell you that's not what I'm about.
No, not at all.
I mean, I want the freaking show to do well, and I want women involved. So I'm tired of that. I'm tired of, and while I'm on that subject, women, stop fucking putting shit in my message box. I'm telling you, I just showed it to my wife. I just showed it to my wife. I just literally showed it to her like this one. I mean, it's not what I want. What I want is to build a show. I want to take this show to the point to where I can start seeing these people at events and we can have personal conversations. I mean, because that's the only way the show is truly going to be built. I want to be known as a social media presence. I want to be known as a presence. This is Swag. This is Richard Cole. This is who he is. This is what he's about. He wants to talk about sports and he wants to have the best show on social media, period. I just had to get that out because it's frustrating the hell out of me. It really is.
Hey, yo, Swag. It's funny you said that just before you went, because I always tell my players at the first practice, I let it be known. I don't care what your mother looks like because I'm married, and I don't care who your father is because I can fight. So everything you get on this field, you will earn, dog. Please don't think that your mom having a fat ass or your dad being a tough guy is going to move me any way to put you on the field, dog. So it's not going to happen.
And just to let you guys know, when a man reaches the age 45, like we really understand it. You know what? It's just not all about that shit, though.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
And I know it's not all of them, but in most cases. So I want to just say that with y'all. Look, JB Not Move Podcast has a show that goes on 24/7. I jumped on one of the shows this morning, and Coach was literally lighting somebody's ass up because they think that one damn year makes the player elite, and they don't. I didn't even want to jump into the conversation because Coach was doing such a good job. I was like, well, I didn't say anything for it. I mean, like, I also, they have great shows over there. They have fun shows over there. They have a lot of different things that go on, and I love watching them. JB always trying to make me come up. I don't want to come up all the time. Now, if I see Southgate, if I see JB, if I see Coach Common, I see A-Train, and I see the normal people, I'll come up there because I know I ain't gonna have to deal with no damn casuals trying to explain to them why what they just said does not make any sense.
Right. So look.
Hey, yo, Swag, what's so funny is the way you just grabbed your head is how I be like, dog, what is wrong with you?
It's so, I talk to Brianna, I talk to Joe's, I'm gonna start talking to Joe's mom. I talk to Brianna a lot, and we talk about football the whole time because the reason why is because you guys are like a sponge. Y'all want to learn as much as y'all possibly can, and I'm learning from y'all. So it's so many different things, but I just want everybody to understand y'all can spread the word, especially to females. Man, it ain't what I'm about. Look, my wife is crazy. Y'all don't really understand that. Nobody's gonna put that. I'm not gonna put myself in that predicament. I'm sorry, it won't be no, oh, I'm divorcing you. No. It's gonna be some ass whooping. It's gonna be. I ain't trying to do all that. I ain't trying to go that route. So I just want more females to be involved in the sports show. That's all I want. That's it. I don't care if it's 5 or 6, and I'll be done with it. I don't want no crazy ass female that think they know football and they don't. But if I seek out to you, I seen something in you. I seen talent in you. You said something that impressed me. That's why I'm reaching out to you. I don't even go look at your pictures.
Swag, if you need me to slide in the DMs for you to bring them over here, I can do that. It might be a little easier that way.
It would be much easier. Much. I would love for you and Joe to help me out with that because I want more women on the panel. I want more women in the show. It's just that simple. But in the meantime, Not Move Podcast, like I said, go back 24/7. I tease them. I jump on at 10 o'clock when I'm finished doing everything and said, still here, huh? 24/7. I mean, like all day. I can't do that. I don't know how JB does it. I don't know why he don't get tired of talking.
Well, I do. Trust me, I do. So like, and that's why like there's also it's like there's so many of us. So like, Common and especially like Southgate, like they don't go live all the time. So like me going live is like them going live. You know what I mean? It works for them, so they can just host it and I just let them run with it, bro. You know, I mean, I might host the live, but I'm not. They're hosting the live. You know, if I got something to say, I'll say it. But you know, I mean. We got like A-Train. A-Train will go live. He'll do his thing. You know, we got Robert does his thing. We got Bando at night. You know, Jimmy at night. You know, I mean, we got people. We're you know, we got a big group, so it works in our favor to be able to spread wide. You know, Tinez is live all day. He does NBA lives, strictly NBA lives right now. You know, so.
And I want Coach Common to know that I got a show. I don't know if you guys will like this, but I'm thinking of a show. It's called the Coach's Corner.
Yeah, we already do that. Common already does Coach's Corner.
I mean, like, well, if y'all gonna do the Coach's Corner, I think I just want to do. I want to do a show where it's a segment with me and Coach Common. I mean, like, because I think we can dive real deep into some shit that really good. It matters. But I'm gonna do that too. But we're gonna talk about all that, JD, and all the different things that come through my head or just been in my head, and I just can't seem to express it. I mean, but just letting the women know.
Send them on text, bro. Just send them out. Just get them off. If you got to even just send it, and if it don't make sense, even if you're just like applesauce and tomatoes, and you know what that means, and I'm like, what the heck? And you're like, I'll talk to you later. All right, just so you remember, and then you look back at it, and you're like, oh yeah, applesauce and tomatoes. Yo, so this is what I want to talk to you about. Yo, dude, I'm gonna bring applesauce and tomatoes, and we're gonna get this and this. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, bet. You know what I mean? That way, if you get that way, if you don't forget, if you want to just make a pad or whatever, take a picture of it, send it to me or whatever.
Trust me when I tell you, JB, I don't need a pad or pencil. They just stuck there. They just stuck there. I mean, like, hey, that's why I want to get them out. I mean, like, they just stuck there. But I want Brianna and Joe's to know, and even y'all let Justina know. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell y'all this was a first time thing, but it's not. This is not a one time thing. I mean, I want Cody to know, even though his ass is gone. I know what he's doing. I want Cody to know when Cody did the draft. I'm sorry, he got to do more shows like that because the draft ain't here. I mean, so you got to do all the way to the draft. And we didn't get to half of the teams. So it's just a lot of different things that I have rolling through my head. Because this is the first year, because last year, guys, I did basketball. I did basketball and football. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't think I'm going to mess with basketball this year to the playoffs. But
yeah, it's boring as hell.
I mean, it's just not moving my needle right now.
It's boring as hell.
It's not moving my needle. All I see is blowouts. I mean, like, it's like, can I get a game that two teams play each other hard? I don't know. But other than that, yeah, that's what's going on here at the Swag Show. We will not be on JB, Coach. We will not be on tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sundays are probably going to be days that I'm not on. That's why it's very, very important that these 5 days a week get hit hard. And yes, I'll be back on Saturday and Sunday doing football season. But like I said, if I want to stay married, and Coach knows what I'm talking about, if I want to stay married, I'm going to have to give up 2 days. It's just that simple.
He ain't never lied about that.
That's understandable.
And I want to stay married. So I'm just telling y'all right now. So, but that is.
Yo, I do want to say this. You know, 810 Sports Radio, WHB. You know, they're big in Kansas City metro area. Talk big about sports and stuff. I just want to say they go live on Twitter just like we do every day. And they only sitting at 3 people that have been watching them. Meanwhile, we've been live the exact amount of time, and we got 26 people that have been here the whole time. So I'm just saying, man, something's going on.
I mean, like, and that's what I'm trying to get everybody to know. JB, Coach Common, all these guys, and Brianna and all of them know. Y'all been around social media enough. Y'all seen a lot of different shows. I mean, like, y'all know I'm trying to do it different. Y'all know it's different. I mean, but I'm sorry that I didn't get a lot of these people on the panel that tried to come up today. Some of them I didn't want to come up, I'm be honest with you. because you just don't flop through my show and then just want to pop on my panel. And then as soon as I'm not talking about something you know anything about, you go. But I want to thank Zach. Zach, you've been a soldier, brother. You still there? Zach, you still there? I see you still there. Can you talk? I need to stop
Can you hear me? I'm still here.
Right. So Zach, I tell this to everybody who came up on the show that contributed to the show, man. I haven't seen you on my panel a lot, but I want to thank you because you did contribute and you was a soldier too. I really appreciate that. You're welcome to the show anytime you want to come on, bro. Anytime you want to come.
I appreciate it.
I mean, and as far as everybody else, y'all go to Not Move Podcast. I might join you.
Nigga, we're about to go live.
That'll be fun. We've been doing lists. It's been a blast.
I'm getting ready to go over there in about 30 minutes to an hour myself. So you guys go over there. This is the Swag Show. This is your boy Swag. Peace. I'm out.
Great.
This non-casual podcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or reused without the authorized written consent of the Not Move Podcast Network. Thank you, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.